What's up, everyone? More Important Issues is brought to you by our sponsors, Tennessee Tap House, Hound Dogs, and Blue Water Climate Control. And here's a quick word from our good friends at Blue Water Climate Control.
Blue Water Climate Control. From heating and AC installation and repair, commercial or residential, when you choose Blue Water Climate Control, we offer solutions, not a sales pitch. Blue Water Climate Control. Veteran-owned, superior service.
Balls are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! Out by Tennessee to one Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
What is up, everybody? Welcome in to another Wednesday edition of More Important Issues. It is June 30th, last day of June. Summer, I think it's been officially here, but it's officially here. I'm calling it today. The College World Series is in Game 3. Final game. Pitch clock is on. If you're not watching, Landon, I do want to ask you, since you brought up the Peyton Manning last episode, does it piss you off seeing Mississippi State ball out with Dak Prescott in attendance?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, from a Tennessee perspective, yeah.
Yeah, they get
Why,
their
why can't we have that?
yeah, their star quarterback shows up and win. What's the record with Josh Dobbs on campus? Do we know?
I mean, going off like our record the last couple of years, I would assume it's not very good.
Fair. That's a good point.
But I don't think it's his fault.
Right. I would agree with that. We
Now,
are.
Peyton Manning shows up to like every big moment.
That's the problem. Is Tennessee just doesn't have that. They don't have the clutch gene, and Peyton Manning's coming to games where they need to have the clutch gene. So
Right.
that's the issue. We are talking about Tennessee. Don't worry. We've got some coaching extensions, maybe some that haven't been announced yet. We'll talk all about that. Talk about some guys that have been brought back to the team, some guys that have exited the team. I've got a take on that. Landon might not agree, so we'll get into that. Also talking NIL. It could be a wild, wild west here in the next couple.
I'm excited for the madness. It's one of those things that it's like, I'm glad I don't have to, like, I'm not really a part of it. So I think it's going to be hilarious to watch how it unfolds.
Yeah, I think the next 24 hours are going to be insane. I agree with you. It's going to be fun to watch. We've also got some recruiting news, which is definitely going to play into some of that NIL. Also, we had this question on the last show, questions about the baseball roster. So we're going to kind of dig a little bit deeper into that than we did. Talk about some guys that are currently, going to be staying around, maybe staying around. Guys coming in that 2021 recruiting class, number 6 ranked recruiting class according to Perfect Game. We'll talk all about that. Santiago Vescovi playing in the. So I assume they qualified for the Olympics already.
No, so I think there's 8 teams, or maybe there's 6 teams that have to qualify. Or they're in a tournament to qualify.
That's so funny. You would have think that had happened already. So it just seems, I don't know, whatever. But okay, so maybe playing in the Olympics, playing in the qualifiers right now with Argentina. Is that
I think they play a round robin.
Is he Argentinian?
Uruguay.
I knew it. Uruguay. I knew it wasn't Argentina. They have similar colors. So.
It is very similar.
And South America geography guys.
There you go. Yeah. They're close.
They're very close. And then we've got some segments for you as well as questions. Drop them in the chat. Tell us where you're listening from. Of course, we've got where was I going with that? Oh, UT Southern. We talked about geography. Tell us where you're listening from. UT Southern, they're the Firehawks, I believe is their new mascot, which is a pretty aggressive coming out of the gate mascot.
What are Firehawks?
No clue what that means.
Where is Elijah Simmons from?
He is
Procone.
Are they the Firehawks?
They are the Thunderbirds, which is basically the same thing, right?
I'm pretty sure that's the exact same thing. And Thunderbirds is I think when I heard Firehawks, I was like, Thunderbirds would have been a lot cooler. So there you go. Same thing. I agree.
Because that's one of those mascots I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Thunderbird, that's pretty badass.
I 100% agree with that. Thunderbirds are awesome. Tennessee, if we keep this up, we might just have to drop the name Volunteers. Like, if you're not going to win on the field, you got to win off the field. Thunderbirds wins off the field immediately.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind. All right, let's
I
jump
think
right
they used
into
to have like a Pontiac Thunderbird too. I think my aunt had one. It's not a car that you'd be like, dude, that's a badass Thunderbird. Like, no.
Get your whole face in here, not just the tail. That's our we don't just do.
Dude, so my friend was like, "Oh, Shelby," she was like, "Oh my wife was like, somebody farted." She smelled her dog's ass to see if he farted. I'm like, and then she nodded her head. Yeah, it was him.
Does she not know? Like, she's had that dog for a long time. If Brutus farts, I know. Like, I'm like, that's Brutus. I know his flavor.
Stink.
Yeah, I know what he's putting out.
His flavor.
I know what he's putting out. But yeah, I know exactly when it's him. Like, no question. Like, Emily still doesn't know, but as soon as it hits, she's like, "Is that you?" And I'm like, "You really can't tell if that's Brutus or me? Come on." Like, let's talk. Yeah. All right, let's jump right into it. Talking about coaches getting extensions. I'd really like what Rick Barnes' agent is just who is it? He's working some magic. I'm not saying like what's he getting an extension for? I don't really understand it.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing too. I'd like to get you just got one, number one. And then you had a year where I don't really necessarily think you earned another extension.
Yeah, I don't really. I
know there's some circumstances that just didn't go Tennessee's way during COVID, but still, like, to get a raise, you have to do something to earn it, and I don't think that team last year met expectations.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I'm all for like keeping Rick Barnes. I'm not saying
right.
I just don't get the extension. Like, I don't. Whatever, cool, I guess. Don't really get it. There's another guy on campus that should be priority. It's just like for me, it's almost like what it seems tone deaf again because I know the extension's coming. Like I don't doubt that, or at least the commitment to the baseball program. It's just like, do we really need to do this right now?
Yeah, and maybe that's why it's kind of been kept under wraps. Like, I think John Bryce is the only person that said anything, and that was on the Tony Basilio show.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and he said it was going to put a 5 years on his at the end of his contract.
My man is not retiring, is he?
So I don't know if that means he's adding 5 years because I think his one goes through like 2024. So are you just adding like? Surely to God, it's not until 2029.
Are we going to have the next? Oh my gosh, Kansas State guy, Bill
Self? No,
not Bill Self.
Bill Snyder.
Bill Snyder. Are we gonna have the next Bill Snyder?
We might.
I mean, Barnes have a son he wants to give the job to. Is that what he's bidding for?
Maybe.
This is not a Rick Barnes hate, by the way. I mean, you all that listen to the podcast know. It's just, again, I just don't really understand.
We're just waiting until Grant and Admiral is out of the league and come back and coach Tennessee.
Troy mentioned a good point. He said Pruitt got a raise when he was there for nothing too. Hey, that's a good point. So it's a Tennessee thing, just handing out unnecessary raises.
I wonder if it's the Danny White thing. Like, I mean, he hired the football coach. Apparently he's got a commitment to Tony Vitello, and we haven't seen it yet, but apparently there's some sort of agreement there. And I guess he's like, well, I guess I got to give Rick Barnes something too.
So he's like putting a stamp on everything.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, good call. If I had to put my stamp on something on campus, Rick Barnes would be second right now, but I would put it on Rick Barnes too.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're going to pay your coach your football coach that came from a Group 5 and you're paying him $5 million, I guess you want to give the basketball coach who's recruiting 5 stars and making the NCAA tournament year in and year out a little something extra, I guess, a little cherry on top. I don't know.
So does Danny White also get credit for the Karen Weekly hire?
Maybe.
I mean, I think you got to ask because I mean, that, to
Well, did they save money? They only have to pay one salary now.
that had to be a tough decision when Ralph Weekly retired. Like, all right, do we go a different direction, or do we hire Karen? I'm sure that he really had to really think on that one. I'm sure that made it difficult.
It was Karen, like Leonardo DiCaprio, just like, I'm not leaving.
That's definitely it. Yeah, credit to Danny White, and we do expect the Tony Vitello one to be coming at some point here in the next month or so. I'm sure it's been ongoing talks. I mean, all season, I'm sure, but also especially since they've been back from Omaha. I mean, this is easy. Don't make it too difficult. Give the man commitment to the program. Toss some money his way. Get him out of that condo if he wants. Get him in a nice house in Gettysville. Treat the man. Treat him.
Yeah, I mean, just build him a house right outside the stadium. He wouldn't have to drive anywhere.
Yeah, no, I agree. Troy also asked, what is going on with Austin Price? I read something today about him. I don't know. I'm unclear about Austin Price specifically, or about somebody that Austin Price reported about. Brutus?
Yeah, I don't know about that either. I do know Tony Vitello is interested in, he wants raises for his assistants. That's probably coming. Definitely, renovations to the stadium. That's obvious. And then he'll probably get, a salary increase. He's making about $600K right now. And I think in 2019, I have it pulled up. 2019, the highest paid coach was Tim Corbin at $1.3 million. I think they'd probably double his salary. So he'll be making like 1.2 to 1.5, probably somewhere in there. It'll make him one of the highest paid coaches in college baseball. I think Tim Corbin makes a lot more than that now. So,
gotcha. And Swain had right there at the end of Omaha, maybe after they had already gotten back, Swain had tweeted that there were talks that he would become one of the highest paid, and with his relationship with the athletic department right now, and then he's he's been in Knoxville for a while, got the inside guys. I would say that report is correct.
Yeah, no, I think that's a no-brainer. I mean, when you're one of the best teams in college baseball, you are in the SEC, you have that commitment to the baseball program. Yeah, you just go ahead and lock Tony Vitello in and pay the man.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
If you want baseball to be a revenue sport, you need to pay your head coach.
Yeah, no, and Tennessee's got the money to do it. Like, there's no issue there. So, yeah, pay the guy. Any other extensions or contracts that we need to discuss before we get into a little bit of football?
I don't think so. I read something today that Rod Clark is I didn't read it. I saw the headline. It said Rod Clark is one of the best offseason gets in the country.
Interesting. Did he now I know he's had some experience with the prep, like the prep academies. Did he come from a school though to Tennessee, or did he come from the prep ranks?
So he was at Austin P.
Austin P, that's right.
But previously he was at wherever Sunshine, yeah, where Kennedy Chandler was. But he knows a lot of those guys. Like that Cason Wallace who came in for an official visit, the 5-star out of Texas. He's had a big relationship with Rod Clark, and that's kind of the reason Tennessee is in that one, is because of a guy like that, and he's just got a bunch of ties everywhere. So.
And that's good for Tennessee because you lost a big recruiting component when you lost Kim English to George Mason, head coaching position. You did lose a guy that, I mean, obviously you got to attribute a lot of the recruiting success to him, the guys that he brought in when he was on campus and was currently recruiting and active with before he left. So to get a guy like Rod Clark, that's big. Are you like, is Brutus doing something behind me?
No, I know exactly what Troy is talking about now. It's the balls picks guy.
Oh. Gotcha. Okay. I was going to mention that when we get to NIL, so I'll save it. I'll save my thoughts. Yeah. Stay far away from him, though, kids.
Austin Price is not involved with that guy. So.
Gotcha. Okay, so football. Aaron Beasley was reinstated. He is also not white, according to, who tweeted that? God, what was that his name? Ben something. I don't know. That weird dude that does poems. St. Cliff. Yeah, I don't know who he is.
Sabe.
Yeah. So that was funny. But Sabe. Yeah, shout out for the assist.
He used to be like Saban Chino, right?
I
something like that?
honestly, I avoid him. I have never, thankfully, followed him. He hasn't popped up on my timeline much, but when he does, it's always entertaining in the worst way.
Yeah, kind of creepy.
Yeah, but Aaron Beasley was reinstated. We talked about it, and it's like if the stuff that was being reported was true, like, got to kick him off. Apparently, it's not. I mean, charges were dropped. Who knows what, the fact is, like, I don't know what happened there. Like, weird situation. Apparently, I don't know if it was the same cat, but he had actually bought a dog and cat from the girl that accused him. So, like, I don't understand what happened. I don't think we ever are. And I mean,
Right.
He was clear of the charges, so, it doesn't seem to be, it seems to be kind of a non-issue now. Obviously, there still sucks that someone's cat is, seriously injured. But I don't know. Mess up situation. I mean, for his sake, I'm glad it was all sorted out, and he is reinstated. And I mean, looking at this from a Tennessee standpoint, glad he was reinstated because I mean, the more people on this roster right now, the better.
Bodies.
Yeah.
The body system.
This is like the buddy system.
Yeah. So in have you seen Heavyweights? Great movie, by the way.
Not in a long time.
So a guy is from like England or something. Probably somewhere more exotic than that, but he overseas somewhere. And he's like, hey, I got him on the body system. And he's trying to say buddy, but his accent says
Gotcha. I'm with you.
body.
Yeah.
So it's hilarious. All these heavyweight kids are in the water and they're all yelling body at the top of their lungs. Oh yeah, hilarious. Yeah, so you just need bodies, and this gives you some more much needed linebacker depth. I mean, you look at it in the spring, you didn't have hardly anybody. Banks was hurt. Aaron Willis was suspended. Roman Harrison was hurt. Morvan Joseph was there. You didn't have Apache Mohan. You didn't have Juwan Mitchell. So, it's a guy who's been in your program for, I think this will be his third year. So I think it's good to add some bodies, even if I don't know how much of a factor he's going to be.
Right.
But I think everybody in that position room has an opportunity. And if not, you'll see him on special teams, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I would say literally everyone everywhere currently has opportunities to play. It's not necessarily great situation for Tennessee to be in. Obviously Darrell Middleton leaving today isn't great news just because, that's a position too you thought would be a little bit deeper than the others on campus and on the roster. And I'm not going to sit here and just completely blame Josh Heupel, but I think it's okay to be concerned that so many guys are leaving now. Because he's been on campus through spring practice now, and I realize I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, there's a problem within the program. But I think it's fair to ask questions about what this staff's doing. Whether I think someone tweeted like, what are they doing that's either intentional or unintentional that this many guys are exiting, this late in the season or this late in the process. And I think it's fair to ask. Yeah,
and is it because like they're used to that Jeremy Pruitt culture and this culture is totally different? I'm not saying for the better or for worse, but I'm just saying it just seems like I think we'll find out.
Yeah.
If it was better or worse. But it just looks like, you brought in Caleb Tremblay, you brought in Dejon Terry, and some of these guys were mentioned in spring practice that they'd probably hit the transfer portal. And it seems like Rodney Garner is cleaning house a little bit. This is coming from a group who last season didn't have a position coach after that Kentucky game.
Yeah, which is just a weird situation. And you mentioned like, is this a situation where it's like they're just trying to find guys that fit? Well, Tennessee doesn't have the luxury of choosing. They're beggars, and we know beggars can't be choosers. So it's just like, it's a weird situation. I don't know really what to make of it right now. Like you said, we'll find out soon enough. So everything until then, speculation. But I think it's certainly fair to ask, what is the culture like, inside the locker room and within the team right now?
Yeah, and I think from going from without a position coach to one of the best defensive line coach in the country in Rodney Garner, that's got to be a culture shock. And I'm sure it took a lot of guys by surprise. And if, they're bringing in guys, he's not tied to anybody there. So
No.
if you bring in some more guys and, some of those guys were halfway in, halfway out, it's either going to force them to be all the way in or it's going to force them to be all the way out. And I think that's more of what we're seeing is, guys just not maybe connecting with this staff or, not being all in with the program.
Yeah, and like you said, we'll find out soon. What exactly is the issue? If you've got, obviously you don't want to be talking about having a group of 60 or 70 guys, regardless of the situation. But I mean, if you do have are we just gonna have the dirty 30? Is that what it's gonna be this year?
There you go. Yeah, screw it. Play both sides, baby.
Hey, if you've got a true dirty 30, that's the culture you want right there. What is it like? I'd rather. I mean, the Spartans went into battle with 300 of the meanest mother effers ever. I'd rather have 300 of the meanest mother effers ever than thousands of pussies.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, what are we gonna do here? But yeah, I mean, like you said, time will tell. We'll find out what it is. Let's not get down to 30 people. Let me be clear about that. I don't want to play an SEC schedule with the dirty 30.
Yeah, that running through the tee wouldn't have a ton of meaning if you're only rolling out 30 people.
You'd have to send them out one by one for it to match the normal
straight
time.
Line.
Yeah, for it to match the normal allotted time to make it all the way through Rocky Top and whatnot. So.
And then you got captains who don't go in there, so you're down to 26.
Love it. That would be
heaven forbid you have anybody with any kind of leg injuries. That would be awful.
You have them rolling in the scooters through the team.
Hover rounds.
Yeah, I love it. It'd be electric, baby.
But dude, if Joe Milton doesn't win the quarterback race, I mean, he's 6'5", like 220.
That's a linebacker, isn't it?
Yeah, he can play linebacker, he can play defensive end. I mean, damn.
Yeah, good thing we're going to a 4-2-5. We only have enough room on the field for 2 linebackers. So,
yeah.
NIL things are going. Dude, it's going to be the wild west. I mean, all these and I think a lot of guys are going to be humbled real quick. I think where the real money is still going to be made is the $100 handshakes that have maybe turned into $1,000, $10,000 handshakes recently. But it's going to be interesting to see some of the deals that some guys get. I am curious, you see, so David Ubin tweeted that JG's, like Twitter worth, social media worth was like $130,000, I think. I'm really interested to see what these guys' social media's value truly is when it comes down to it. Because that's, estimated and stuff, but what is their actual value? I'm really interested. Like, I'm curious, like what, because I mean.
Yeah, and like, how do you monetize that?
Right.
It's kind of what I'm interested in. Like, how would you monetize JG just being active on Twitter?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is I mean, TikTok and YouTube and Instagram have kind of like laid the platform for that kind of stuff. So, like, I don't think it'll be difficult to necessarily do. Yeah, no, I mean, isn't that what they're really going to be now? Like, they're going to be influencers, right?
Yeah, I guess so. So
it's going to be, but I really think the next couple, 24 hours, I think it's going to be insane. Next month's going to be insane. I think it'll all kind of settle down when people really start finding out, but it's also going to exponentially grow each year. So the guy that was only worth $100,000, that next 5-star quarterback's now going to be worth $500,000. And I mean, look at what the shoe deals have done over the years. Look at the salaries in the NBA, the NFL. Like how have they grown? The MLB, it's gonna get nuts. And I mean, obviously they're not gonna be able to pay as much as those places. We'll talk about the baseball roster. There's one guy that's never gonna step foot on campus because he's got a $5 million check waiting on him after the MLB draft. So it's never gonna get that crazy. But it is going to grow because that's just the world we live in. And I can't wait. I hope the first deal we see is Pals and John Fulkerson. I almost stopped to get some Pals today to support my boy Fulkerson. Maybe tomorrow. I'll do it for dinner. Okay,
yeah. I mean, that should have already been in the works. We're just rolling it out tomorrow. But yeah, I think it's funny the people you saw people tweet that tweet of like, hey, my DMs are open. They're in the transfer portal. Like, who is going to contact them?
Well, that's the thing too, though. Influencers, like, are they gonna? And I don't know how much the average influencer makes. I have no idea. Obviously, you see some of these. That's another thing too. Like, a lot of these influencers are getting paid, guys, because they're hot. And I'm not saying you're not hot, but let's be honest. We know why some of them are on the. I know why they keep popping up on my Instagram, even when I don't follow them. I promise I don't. And
there's a reason why we're not influencers.
Exactly. So yeah, if I look better, I'd move to TikTok. But I think, like I said, I think a lot of guys are going to be humbled. I do.
Yeah, I think the guys, sitting at the bottom of the depth chart, I got some news for you. I don't think you're going to get a ton of DMs like you might hope.
But isn't it good? Like, I mean, they can use that in their hometown too, though. Like if a hometown car dealership wants them to come out for a signing and a hangout, or if some bar in their area does, like they can monetize in their own space. So I think that's great, and they should have always been able to do that. They have
an opportunity to, but yeah.
Yeah, Dylan, let's hear him. I'm excited for this.
Let's go.
Get on here.
You're muted.
I got you. I got you. I think you there.
Got it now. Yeah. Okay. I had a little list here, just going through the roster of guys. Obviously, I'm gonna hold my phone up. Maybe you can see it. Tyler Barron, Red Baron Pizza.
Okay.
Nice. I like that.
I feel like that's a given.
That's
Next,
easy.
Jonas Adu. It actually got pointed out earlier. I saw it. It was Rocky Talk, I think, was who tweeted it out. He's got like 750,000 followers on TikTok, so he is an actual influencer, I guess. Slipping the cracks. I didn't know about it. But he's a center, nearly 7 foot. He doesn't take any crap, and his last name's Adu, so Cottonelle toilet paper.
Nice.
I think that fits perfectly fine. Next, Danico Slaughter.
Slaughterhouse?
Slaughter's the best last name I've ever heard. I thought Slaughterhouse. I went in a little bit different direction, though. Everybody's favorite neighbor, your Slaughter film that you've seen, Michael Myers.
Okay.
Just Michael Myers. That's the sponsor. He just sponsors Danico Slaughter, just straight up.
There you go.
I know he's got stacks of cash. Last one, just the town of Gilbert, Arizona. You can't see it there, but just the town. 243,000 people.
Okay.
Also, fun fact, where the ball landed, that Drew Gilbert.
Nice. That was good.
Just a few ideas. I will take a cut if they want to give me credit for it.
I like that.
I do like that, and I'll tell you guys, you can trust Dylan far more than you can trust the Vol. If the Vols pick guy was like, if anybody wants to hit me up, I'll take care of you. Dude, you were begging for money from the Vol shop a month ago. No, you won't take care of them. Do not talk to that guy.
Yeah.
Talk to Dylan. Dylan got you.
We're best friends, actually. So
I saw Parker Ball, like he tweeted the tweet, like, my DMs are open.
Yep.
And dude, the first thing I thought about was Will Ferrell's dad in Kicking and Screaming when he's like, he's got balls.
Oh, yes. Great.
That would be hilarious.
What was he, the king of? It was like a sporting world. I don't know what it's called. But he was the king of something.
And then and vitamins.
And
Will Ferrell was the vitamin guy.
Yeah, Phil. I know his name.
Phil, yeah.
Kicking and Screaming. Great movie. All-time movie. It might be brought up later in the podcast. I know where it could be brought up. But, yeah, that's I wish I would have tried to prepare something. I was just kind of in the boat of if you got some T-shirt ideas, hit us up. I'll distribute them. You guys can get the cut.
Yeah,
don't worry
tomorrow
about that.
we can reach out to Drew Gilbert and get that third paid assistant. Sure,
yeah,
right?
No, absolutely. In fact, I need the design for it. I'll print them. So he prints his own. But if he needs us to print them, I'll print them. I just want it.
Yeah.
I don't need to sell it. I just want it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I guess we can pay him for it, though. Right.
That probably seems like the easy solution.
Yeah.
My mind's just been racing with all the ideas ever since this has been announced. I mean, it just seems like such a great way to make money. I'm really putting my degree to work, my marketing minor. I'm just taking screenshots from Google. That's putting the degree to work already.
Yeah. No, that's very smart of you to do because this might be a thing you need to take to class next semester.
Yeah, a little capstone project for you.
Absolutely, yeah. Take care of a a few credit hours there.
Yeah,
absolutely. And then the Wild Wild West though, it is going to be like who can they get shoe deals with Nike? Can they what is that like?
I just want to know what does it entail? Because I've seen birthday parties. I'm like,
that would be awesome.
Can you're gonna pay a Elijah Simmons to dress up as a clown?
I don't think they want him dressed up as a clown. I think they just would want them there. But yeah,
I know. But that would be if they paid him $500 to dress up like a clown.
if you're a college
Elijah Simmons, himself at any party is scary enough. He doesn't need to dress up as a clown. That man terrifies me.
Also, like, what would you do to make money? Because like these guys do get paid right now. I mean, it's like $2,500 a month. It's not much. Do you show up to a kid's birthday party for $500? Because I wouldn't. I wouldn't waste my Saturday unless
$500.
Unless they had like a blow up obstacle course, I'd be there.
I mean, you're gonna get a free meal. There's probably some
Little Caesars pizza. That's at every kid's birthday party.
And there's probably some like single
That's
moms
fine.
there that, maybe you can shoot your shot with. I think the possibilities with that are endless too.
The two birthday parties I'd go to are at the roller rink and if it had a blow up obstacle course. That's the only way I'm coming. Don't invite me to your pool party. I'm not showing up.
Yeah, it's gonna be like at the YMCA or something weird like that.
Yeah, I'm not coming. I'm not going to come shoot basketball with your kid for an hour for $500.
In the ball pit of a McDonald's or something.
I would go to a ball pit. Like, I'm pretty pissed that the fast food restaurants don't have ball pits anymore. If you found a ball pit, I'd be there.
Oh, so they don't have them anymore.
I haven't seen a ball pit in like 20 years.
But like, I mean, I'm sure somewhere down in Florida still, like, they haven't got the memo that they're supposed to get rid of it. So.
Yeah,
they just have pits down there. I mean, those aren't for fun though.
Yeah, you don't know what's in that.
I'm never getting in a ball pit in Florida. There's bound to be at least one snake in there.
Oh yeah,
bound to be.
Or a meth head.
I think the last time I saw a ball pit was at a Burger King in like real rural South Carolina, like on the way home from the beach. That's probably the last time I saw a ball pit.
Did you go in?
I think I was too old. I don't remember getting into it. No, I'm not too old now.
You missed out. Dude.
I was like,
hey,
a
chance.
I haven't seen a playground other than like Chick-fil-A in a while, and the Chick-fil-A playground sucks. It's so small.
Yeah.
Is there still one on the Burger King on Chapman Highway? Because that one was awesome when I was little.
I think there is still. It's still there. I don't know if it's ever used.
I mean, it's definitely breeding ground for viruses. Like, if you want COVID, go to the Burger King playground.
Right. It's there for sure.
So who would you pay on Tennessee's campus, basketball, football, to rep your brand, to tweet about it, be on the billboard? Who's your first guy?
Oh, man. I mean, like, I feel like it's a lot harder for brands for football just because you have a helmet on and it's harder to get like that personality, but you really get to know like baseball and basketball players throughout the entire year. So I think it's going to be a lot easier for them to maybe I think your quarterback is obviously going to have the opportunities, but a linebacker or something like that, I think it's harder for people to really put a name and a face together. At times.
I mean, I think that's just like the nature of sports. Baseball's an interesting one. You think people will be able to monetize on it because isn't that like kind of the issue with the MLB is no athletes are recognizable?
I mean, I feel like I would recognize, and I guess just because I've been so many games, I would recognize every single one of Tennessee's players.
Right. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. We'll see what they get to do.
But I mean, Drew Gilbert's got to be up there. He's got the swagger for it. Yeah, he's probably somebody I'd pay.
How can he?
Hyatt Hotels with Jalen Hyatt.
Yeah,
nice. It's spelled the same way too, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Sets up
perfect. There you go, Jalen.
Yeah, no issues there. I mean, that'll be a guy who'd probably get a chance to. He's been a big name since he stepped on campus.
I'm just gonna send my Venmo out to every athlete on Tennessee campus and just let them do what they want with it.
Just give me 2%.
Yeah, that's all I need.
I'll book the birthday parties. Only the good ones though.
Yeah, we're talking inflatables.
Do not send me an invite to Victor Ash. Do not.
The dog park.
That dog park sucks.
Yeah, it does. It's terrible.
It smells like more poop than a normal dog park.
Yeah, it smells like a cow pasture.
Exactly. I'm out on that one. Anything else for NIL? All these dudes about to. Oh. So you mentioned TikTok. I meant to say this. I have almost 1 million views on a TikTok.
Really?
Yeah, one TikTok. I posted like 7.
Hang on, I gotta see this.
7 exactly. It has nothing to do with me. It's the band kid yelling game day.
Oh yeah,
935,000 views, only like 25,000 likes. So not a lot of people liked what they saw.
An influencer though.
I'm an
People don't have
influencer.
to like. Some of the best influencers are the most hated people on earth.
That's a great
Bryce
point.
Hall, I'm looking at you.
They and Tennessee won that game, so maybe I'll just need to post that every Saturday this season. They beat South Carolina.
People keep taking it.
Yeah, well, I wasn't the original, so I'm not going to say they stole my content.
Okay.
I was the first one to do it in 2020, so
suck it.
Yeah, so yeah, that's my content. Get out of here. I don't even know who took the video. But I've seen that for also that's been a thing for a long time. Dude, Mississippi State's absolutely putting it on Vanderbilt, and I love it.
What's the score now?
5-0. Runners on first and second, the top of the fifth, 1 out. Kamar's already pitched 91 pitches. He's done.
Yeah, and he pitched Thursday?
Yeah, he's
maybe Friday.
Yeah, he's not fully rested.
No. Sucks to suck.
Sucks to suck. Okay, what's next? What we got here?
But dude, I just think this is going to be insane.
Yeah, no, I can't wait.
I think Brock Vandegrift, who hasn't played it down at Georgia, already has a deal in place with a car dealership.
That's another thing too. I'm interested to see does this keep guys out of trouble? Because now you're talking about it's not just
money's on the line, yeah.
But I mean, money's always been on the line, but it's always been 4 years from now or 3 years from now or whatever. Now it's money's on the line now.
Right.
You can't be tweeting stupid shit. You can't be getting arrested if you want.
Right. You don't have to do illegal stuff to try to make extra money now.
That too. That's a good point. Looking at you, Tim Banks. Not Tim Banks. What's the dude's name?
Jeremy.
Tim.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Wait, who are we talking about?
Oh my God, dude got arrested in Florida. What was his name? Running back, Tim Jordan.
Tim Jordan.
I didn't remember his name. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to name drop. I should have left it when I forgot.
Tim Banks. I was like, that's our defensive coordinator.
Hey, they might not be paying him good. You might not know what's happening.
Rumors, Caleb. Rumors.
Trying to get him started here. But yeah, I am curious to see if there's going to be some guys that obviously some guys are still going to make mistakes. They're 18 to 21-year-olds. There's still going to be some stuff that happens. But do they make better decisions?
How much can they make? Is there going to be a cap on it?
I don't think.
That's going to be a huge recruiting thing. Is who's got money, which is fine for Tennessee because we got plenty of it. It's obvious the way that we're extending our coaches for no reason.
And to be fair, though, hadn't that always kind of been a point? We can get you more exposure. We're on ESPN because that's a selling point of the SEC network. We're on ESPN. Your name's going to be known. Your face is going to be known. So that's kind of always been a selling point. But again, it's always been a selling point for 3 or 4 years down the line. Now it's a selling point for right now.
Right.
I don't know. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. I'm glad I'm not a part of it.
Yeah, from afar.
To watch. Hey, how does it affect high school athletes? Because couldn't they technically do deals now?
I guess you can. That's one thing that I'm interested in. How do you police that? Because obviously they can't get paid until they're actually probably enrolled in the school. But there's definitely going to be talks with people up until that point, right?
But that's
going to be part of your recruiting pitch from now on.
But how can an organization like CWSAA have more control over how much money you make than the NCAA? So couldn't a senior in high school technically do the same thing? When we're looking at this from a spring court standpoint, what they're ruling on the NIL.
I guess.
I don't know. I was just curious. We'll find out soon. There's going to be some high schoolers that have some money on the line too. They'll be.
How pissed is that one guy who was he a kicker at Oregon or somewhere?
UCF, the guy that had the YouTube.
Yeah. UCF, yeah.
Destroying.
Yeah, and then they basically told him you got to give it up or you got to give up football, and he's like, all right, see ya, I'm making money.
Yeah, he's making a ton now. He's huge.
Yeah.
Oh, is he I didn't know he was a big influencer. I knew his
but
vlog
he's still
was
a
big.
YouTuber, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he does a lot of videos with just he challenges big athletes to do stuff, or he'll go and just basically play one-on-one with dudes in a park.
Oh, is he good at basketball?
He plays basketball, he does football, he does one-on-ones with football.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. But he also I think he challenged the number one kicker in the country to field goals. So
2 million followers on TikTok. And I know he's even bigger on YouTube.
Interesting. Well,
he's not hurting for money.
No, and you saw some of those guys last year when they knew this was coming. I mean, like Bayless started doing YouTube. I don't know how big he is or how much he does it, but he started it to, I guess get ready to like monetize it. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. And does that give guys more of a reason to stay? Like we're going to talk about the baseball roster here in a little bit, but guys like, Evan Russell, who potentially has another year, he could come back if he wanted to. Does that maybe just sweeten the deal a little bit that he can make a little bit of money while he's on campus?
Yeah, it's got to.
What happens to transfers? Like guys, what if he's locked into a deal, loses his starting spot? Does he have to stay then?
That's probably what that contract's got to be.
Well, I mean, the schools have no say. So I mean, it's going to be like are you gonna? Because I think a lot of I don't think as many local places are going to be able to sponsor people as like maybe people think. Because like Tennessee is one of the larger college towns in the SEC, and looking at like how many people in Starkville, Mississippi are going to shell out deals for these athletes. So I don't know how many deals will like lock them into a school, but I mean some will. But I mean I don't know how many truly will. Now the boosters of the schools that are sponsoring, they're going to protect their school. So yeah, I mean they could lose some money, they could get sued. I mean that's a good point.
Yeah, and what does the talk kind of look like? It is like, do you have to win a certain amount of games for you to cash in on this money? Like, could that be like not shaving points, but
I guess you could look at
surely it can't be based on performance, right?
I mean, I don't think there could necessarily be rules preventing it, but if you look at like professional contracts that, they might get bonuses from from companies for like winning a Super Bowl, but like they're not performance based totally. No.
Right.
Landon must still be based on the Giannis prop bet last night.
Oh yeah, dude. Thank you, DraftKings.
No, I get waiving it, but they paid it out. That's stupid. I'm sorry.
Well, I think it was because it was a boost. If it wouldn't have been a big boost, they wouldn't have done it. But they thought it was literally going to be free money. And like he had 2 rebounds to go with like a quarter and a half. He had 5 in the first quarter. I mean, it was going to hit.
Just give the people their money back. I'm sorry. That's me.
Shut up, Caleb.
I'm sorry. You want a participation trophy? That's what it sounds like you want.
I just wanted $25 extra. So yes, I wanted that participation $25. Thank you.
That's fair. That's fair. I can't believe he's not done for the season. The way everybody reacted, I thought surely he was done. See, I think DraftKings should definitely not pay it out now.
Oh, dude, the Bucks should, like, the Hawks should move on from winning that game last night. Straight up, without Trae Young to just destroy the Bucks like they did. I mean, the Bucks should just go home.
Well, they might be. So, yeah,
terrible performance.
Thursday night.
Absolutely terrible.
that your wish may come true here soon.
Trash.
Let's get into some recruiting news. Tennessee got some crystal balls with some guys announcing soon.
Yeah, so you had we'll start with football. Jordan Phillips will make his decision tomorrow at 5:00 Eastern time. He's a 3-star defensive lineman, 6'2", 300 pounds from Ocoee, Florida. Got a big offer list. I mean, the 3-star doesn't wow you. Again, you're thinking, oh, we're 3-star you. I saw a lot of that today. But when you look at his offer list, I think it's pretty dang good. I mean, Georgia, Michigan, Florida, Maryland, Georgia Tech, Ole Miss, Auburn. I mean, those are some of the top teams in the country. Some of those are playoff teams. So I like that he went on visits to some of those places, so they were actually interested. It wasn't just an offer, because we all know how those are thrown out like candy. But yeah, you got some crystal balls for him. He's set to announce tomorrow. He was on his official visit to Tennessee last weekend before the dead period, and then switching over a little bit to basketball. I mentioned that dead period. I think it's all of July. I think it ends in July, and I think it goes for like a week or two in August, and then it shuts down again.
Yeah, and you mentioned, with the 3-star talk. I mean, the offer list I think is important to look at because these guys are evaluating differently than maybe the grades are put out. And I always say this when we talk about guys, like if I might like their highlight film, but that doesn't tell the whole story. I mean, they're just like their stars don't tell the whole story. I'm not saying he's great. I'm not saying he's going to be the next big guy, but like that doesn't also mean he's just a 3-star. So I think it's just a weird thing to trash a school about, and I hope inadvertently trash a kid about. I hope you're not doing it to trash the kid, but when you say that, you are. But hopefully, again, not doing it on purpose. But yeah, I think it's more than just looking at the stars, and I think it's more than just looking at the offer list. But I mean, the offer list is fairly impressive too, and like you mentioned, these teams are actually interested. So.
Yeah, and again, like how accurate are these rankings? Because last year, a lot of people didn't even play their, high school season, or they played it at a different time, and so I mean, a lot of that is just it's got to be off. It can't be exactly, clear as day.
Right.
And I'm not saying that to say like Tennessee has some underrated guys. I'm sure they have some guys that they think are probably underrated, but could be the opposite. They could have some guys that, are overrated too.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely. You get it. It definitely works both ways.
Let's switch to basketball a little bit with recruiting. You had some crystal balls for 4-star small forward Dylan Mitchell. He's the number 30 player in the country per 247 composite rankings. 6'7", 180 pounds from Spring Hill, Florida. I mean, he's got an offer from pretty much everybody. But so yeah, we got his official visit. He actually visited with 4-star point guard BJ Edwards. Got a crystal ball for him today. And then BJ Edwards is set to announce his decision tomorrow at 1. The 4-star point guard from Knoxville, Tennessee at Knoxville Catholic. And picking between Florida, I think Auburn, Wake Forest, Georgia, I think is in that. But Tennessee has 8 crystal balls, and they're all for BJ Edwards. So the 6'3", 170-pound point guard looks like he could be staying home. So,
yeah, which I mean, he was pretty impressive this past season against some tough competition. So I mean, and we always talk about too. It's good to go, and it's funny, like, not that home's super important in any sport, but it's always good to get the guys that are in your backyard that are highly touted. Tennessee football's missed out on a few recently, so good for Tennessee. It looks like they're just in that race with everybody.
Yeah, and a lot of people that are ahead of BJ Edwards, I saw 5-star Preps tweet this out today, and I think it's true that, he's outperformed head-to-head a lot of those guys in front of him.
Yeah.
On a national stage and, in high school and things like that. So I think BJ Edwards is, I think he's a top 100 player for sure. I know ESPN probably doesn't think so, which I think is just insane when you watch this kid play. But, yeah, it looks like Tennessee is going to have – a point guard that it maybe isn't a one and done. I'm not saying he can't be, but Kenny Chandler is probably going to be that one and done player. So you have a guy come in right after him that's more than capable of running this offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
5 stars, baby. Bring them to us. 4 and 5 stars, I guess. But yeah, you get it. You can't call the basketball program 3-star U.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, they've gone out and really attacked some of the big names. So good for Rick Barnes and Kim English and Rod Clark, the guys that are getting it done in the trenches. Definitely getting attached to some big names. So I know Edwards is committing. Is Mitchell committing this week? Did I see that correct?
Did he announce that? I don't know.
If you don't know it, then I probably misread. It may have just been the Edwards tweet. But for some reason, I thought I saw that he was gonna be set to commit, and I was like, well, that's good. Tennessee got that visit in now, but so that could be a huge mistake. I wasn't sure. It was a question. So
yeah, I don't think he's announced when he's gonna make his decision.
Yeah,
I don't think he's announced it, but he was on his official visit to Tennessee last weekend with BJ Edwards, so I'm sure those two talk.
And I probably just saw the Edwards tweet mixed with the crystal ball for Mitchell, so I probably got confused. So.
Yeah. Hopefully, that'd be nice. I'd like
Wouldn't
to get to big time recruits in basketball. It'd be cool during a dead period.
Yeah, make things a little exciting during the summer. I'm down.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's get it done. All right. Anything else for recruiting before we move on?
That's all I got. If y'all have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'd love to. If you got any recruiting questions or baseball, anything, just throw them in here. We'll be happy to get to those throughout the show.
Yeah, absolutely, we will. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying what Mississippi State's doing to Vanderbilt right now.
Still a beat down?
It's 5-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Mississippi State's rolling right now. It's going to be interesting to see. It's College World Series, and Vanderbilt's obviously a really, really good baseball team. This could be a wild last half of the game. It's I'm really. It's hilarious too. I feel bad for Mississippi State. They've shown that the graphic that Mississippi State hasn't won a team national championship ever, and I'm like that. Like, just what do you have to show it every game? Like, it's absurd.
Right. It's like the Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
It's like schedule.
I forgot Mississippi State hadn't won a national championship till you mentioned it. So thanks for reminding me. I also laughed at, like, it's incredible the way Barstool gets lucky with, like, I can't remember who mentioned it. It's helped Barstool's success that, like, Dave and a lot of those guys are Boston guys, and it's like Boston's been championship city, since like 2010. Like, how many have they won? So it's like, it's definitely helped their success. Now they have Brandon Walker, the Mississippi State fan, and they're about to win their first College World Series. And, he's there, and it's just wild because, like, that stuff helps. I mean, it's fun to laugh at people's misery, but it's also way more fun to, like, watch them enjoy championships.
I love that Mincy gives him crap all the time for not caring about baseball until, like, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, no, it's great. I don't know if he really hasn't cared or not, but it's definitely been fun to watch.
He even said he hasn't.
Oh, is he?
Or he agreed to. Like, he took it from Mincy.
That's funny. Speaking of baseball, we're going to look at the baseball roster. Like I said, we had this question dropped in the chat. Before I move on to you real quick, Credence Wood mentioned that we're supposed to get a commitment for football tomorrow. Believe you mentioned that, Landon?
Yeah, it's Jordan Phillips.
Yeah, he did.
We'll hopefully pick the Vols. Got some crystal balls for him earlier today, and he was on his official visit last weekend. So yeah, I think if you're reading the tea leaves, I think Jordan Phillips will probably be a Vol tomorrow. And add another defensive lineman. You lose one, you get one back. I mean, obviously not this year, but you'll have next year.
Yeah, we want to stop losing people. All right, baseball roster. Like I said, this question was asked last week, and we talked about it a little bit. Thought we'd dive into it a little bit more, what this roster is going to look like. You do have some key pieces. I mean, you have a lot of your guys leaving due to graduation. Some guys draft. And a lot of them are key pieces. The one guy you mentioned, Evan Russell, I think he's publicly said it. He did at Omaha. How it's just like it's going to be hard for him. He has that decision to make to stay here because of the COVID year that he gets, and it's he said it's going to be a hard thing for him to leave where he's at right now, the situation he's in. He can't imagine things being better than they are at Tennessee right now. I don't know how many guys are going to truly be faced with that decision as far as that goes. Some guys do have to leave because they've already used that free COVID year that, Pete Durkee and Jackson Greer, that they use that for this year. But some guys are faced with, and Will Heflin, yeah. Some guys are faced with that decision, though.
Yeah, I kind of organized this a little bit. I put them in groups to make it a little bit easier. So I have guys that are for sure coming back. I have guys that could come back and probably won't be drafted. And then I have could be drafted but eligible to come back. So it depends on where they're getting drafted.
Okay, so start with the second group. The probably won't get drafted, can come back, that group.
Yeah.
Start with that one. I want to start there.
So Evan Russell, you mentioned him already. Connor Pavoloni is a junior, so he has that potential. I know he was kind of a before the season started, he was kind of on a lot of lists to be drafted pretty high, but didn't have the probably season he wanted. Dealt with some injuries on his hand and stuff like that. And then Luke Lipsius has another year. He had a medical red shirt in 2019, so that's why he's only a redshirt junior, so he has another year left. And then Redmond Walsh, who is a redshirt senior, but also has his COVID year. So, this will be his 6th year on campus, or could be his 6th year on campus.
Right. Okay. So as far as that, well, is there like who stays in that group that you? Because I don't have a good like thumb on the draft as far as where some of these guys go, and I know with they kind of restructured it because they're staying with 5 rounds, right? The MLB?
No, it's 20 rounds.
Okay, so they are going. For some reason, I thought they were going to stay with the same one they did last year. Okay, so they
did shorten it, so it's not like 50.
Right, yeah.
But it is.
Those guys will be going in those rounds then. That's why I asked that. So who do you think stays? Who do you think? Well, I guess in that group, like who do you have a good feel for? I think you got to feel good about like a guy like Evan Russell who's made that statement. Redmond Walsh is a local guy. I think that probably helps that appeal.
Yeah, I think every situation's different. I think Connor Pavoloni could really benefit from coming back because, like I mentioned, he was on some lists to be kind of a high-round draft pick and just didn't have the season that he wanted. So I think he should come back, get healthy, and then have a good year. Luke Lipsius is interested to me. His brother is in the minors, Andre, that played at Tennessee as well. So I don't know if that has an effect. They're from Virginia, so they're not local or anything like that. So I just don't know. I'd love to have him back because I don't think Tennessee has a huge guy that you're like, oh yeah, that's going to be the first baseman next season.
Yeah, and like he just kind of always has that calm demeanor to him, and he came up big at the plate a couple times this year too. It would be fantastic to get him back.
Super consistent guy. Yeah, they'd love to have him back. Redmond Walsh is a guy out of the pen. It kind of like with him. Do you just want to play baseball another year? I don't see him, coming back and potentially being a kid that gets drafted. I just don't see it. But I'm not saying he can't.
Right.
But I don't know how much he improves by coming back. But you just want to play baseball for he is a local kid, so maybe he just wants to play for Tennessee one more year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Evan Russell kind of the same way. I mean, it's right. I don't see him like being a guy that gets drafted. I mean, you look at the season; he had a really good season last year. I just don't see him really being a high round draft pick.
Right.
But yeah, do you just want to play for the Orange again?
Yeah, and I think that's the situation that a lot of those guys are facing. Because, like you said, that category you had him in. Let's move to the next one, and the guys that have a really good chance of getting drafted and probably getting some nice paydays, but do have the decision whether to come back or not.
Yeah, so these are guys that like on the verge of being drafted. Like those guys that I mentioned before, I doubt you see them in those first 20 rounds. These guys, you could probably hear their name called later on. So it's just, does that paycheck sound good enough, or do you want to come back and maybe increase your role a little bit? That's why I have guys like Camden Sewell.
Which I think that's an interesting one too, because he, as far as the roster goes, I'm sorry, I know I didn't let you run through the names, but he kind of found a couple spots for him. He had some times he was a starter, but then also came out of the bullpen for Tennessee this year. And he was big in a lot of situations for Tennessee this year.
Yeah, with losing 2 of your weekend starters in Chad Dallas and Will Heflin, does he want to come back and be a weekend starter? Is that the role he wants, or does he want to stay in the pen and be like a Sean Humley was for Tennessee this season? I just don't know what it looks like. But yeah, I think he has the potential to hear his name called. But I think he probably comes back because he wants that increased role. He was a starter when he was a freshman. I feel like that's what he wants. And I think he has a really good chance of being a weekend starter for Tennessee next year. And then the other guy I have is Jackson Leith, who, probably any other year last year would have been gone. But since the 5 rounds in the MLB draft, he came back and then got hurt this season. So, he was a senior, but he obviously has that year where he can use it, come back, be a weekend starter for Tennessee, and then increase that draft stock. Is, then again, do you run the risk of getting hurt again?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, if he didn't want to go through that again, maybe he hears his name called and, just heads out the door. But, yeah, that's an interesting one to me. That's where I think maybe helps you with that name, image, likeness thing where you have kind of sweeten the deal a little bit to come back to Tennessee. You have a chance to make a little bit of money while you're on campus.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I have the graduated, which you kind of mentioned those. Pete Durkee, Will Heflin, and Jackson Greer are all out of eligibility. So they will not be back. And then the guys who will be drafted pretty high. And, these guys have the potential to come back too, but I just doubt you probably see them back in a Tennessee uniform. And that's Max Ferguson. I think he's probably your first name taken off the board. Chad Dallas, and then Jake Rucker. Also have Liam Spence on that list. Liam Spence is kind of a borderline for me. Him and Sean Hunley, because I feel like they could have been maybe in that last group as well. But I put them in there. I don't know if those guys if they come back, do they have a better year than they did last season? Right. And with Liam Spence's best friends, Max Ferguson, when he's gone, his roommate's gone, does that just kind of like, yeah, I'm probably out of here too. I think you'll see, he hit 300 in the SEC. He should hear his name called. Mm-hmm. Where it's at, I'm not too sure on that, but I think those guys probably all peace out.
Yeah, I don't expect it would be it would be awesome to get a Sean Hunley, and I was going to ask this question here in a minute. Is there anybody else you want to name?
I just have the for sure guys that are coming back, and
okay, and we can kind of run through that as we go through the roster. But I do want to ask. I think there's two. Well, I mean, there's a lot of questions just because you lose starters, but this is something baseball coaches are really, really familiar with. Like, it's rare. COVID year gave you kind of the pleasure of, like, you knew what you were going to get. Like, pretty much everyone had the same roster from 2020 to 2021. Mm-hmm. But they went into 2020 with, almost brand new rosters due to, the turnover rate to drafts. Your good players are gone. You got guys graduating, what it may be. So 2021 was kind of an odd year in that sense. But so I'm not like, a lot of people are like, I mean, who are your starters? Like, yeah, it's a question, but I'm not going to call it a concern. That's a normal thing for a college baseball team. So my question is I think, you have the weekend starters. Sean Hunley, though, who's that guy that comes out of the bullpen to close the door like Sean Hunley was this year? Because, you could lose guys that could fill that role in Camden Sewell. So, like, who is that guy in 2022?
Yeah, I think it could be a number of guys. I think Kirby Connell could fill that role. You saw he kind of played it a little bit. In times. Yeah, he was a kind of a reliever, not really a closer, but his role could change next season. Him being a lefty really helps that as well. Redmond Walsh, again, he's been in that role before. He had a great year in 2019. I think it was 2019.
Yeah, and he had some big moments this year too. That he was able to come in and make the plays. But obviously losing Sean Hunley is when he came out, I think every Tennessee fan kind of relaxed, right?
Yeah. Ben Joyce is a guy who didn't play this season due to injury. A guy that transferred over from Walter State. And, he's throwing around 100 miles an hour. So is that a guy you want to come in and throw the last inning, get those 3 outs and, get the victory, get the save? I feel like that could be his role. I think it's a number of guys. Mark McLaughlin can maybe fit that role as well. In the bullpen, he relieved some guys at times this year, but I think any one of those guys, again, like it's the transfer portal is still a big thing. I know we're talking about NLI and guys making money on campus. They also have the opportunity to go somewhere else and make some money.
It's true.
So I think this roster will be a little bit different, but I kind of just wanted to make this a little bit. I did some more research. I know we talked about it last weekend too, or last episode, but I just kind of want to organize it a little bit and maybe answer any questions if people were listening to it.
Absolutely. And I've got another question too. This one kind of relates to guys that didn't play this year. Mentioned you lose a lot of guys. And I'm not saying a guy that didn't step on the field, but maybe a guy that didn't see the field a whole lot due to just guys in front of him or, whatever the reason may be. Do you have one that you're like, that's who I can't wait to see? I think he's going to be a presence on this roster, or he's going to be a big time playmaker, or whatever it may be. Do you see a guy that on this roster that wasn't anything like that last year? That you're like, I can't wait to see him finally get a chance?
It's Kyle Booker.
Hey, that's what I was thinking.
True freshman. Out of Mississippi, I think he's a phenomenal athlete, and his swing is just so smooth and crisp. I think he's really going to be a really good player for Tennessee. I know that outfield is they got some guys in it: Drew Gilbert, Jordan Beck.
If Evan Russell doesn't have the season he has, Booker sees the field a whole lot more this year, right?
Right. Yeah. So if Evan Russell comes back, I think Kyle Booker will fill in nicely at that DH spot, or vice versa. Maybe Evan Russell gets that. I just think Kyle Booker is, I think he was probably other than the Blade Tidwell, he was your best freshman last year. And I think he's going to be a really good player for Tennessee. And I think they lucked into him not getting drafted as high and stepping foot on campus.
Where does Tidwell go on this roster now?
I think he's your Friday night starter. Unless Jackson Lee just comes in and beats you out. I think he's your guy, and he's probably going to be here. I think he can age out, so he could potentially only be on campus for one more year.
Gotcha. Okay. I would obviously he's your Sunday guy this year as a freshman.
He's another guy that never steps foot on campus if there's more than 5 rounds.
Yeah. So shout out to COVID.
Yeah. If one good thing came from COVID, it's Blade Tidwell and Kyle Booker.
Absolutely. That's 2 good things though, Landon. Be careful. It's going to start adding up. You're going to look like a COVID guy here in a minute. Supporting the wrong team.
Package deal.
Supporting the wrong team. And I'm sure some people have you can touch on the roster too as you go through this. I'm sure some people have some guys or some questions about recruits. We know Brady House is, like I said, the dude has a $5 million check waiting on him.
He's gone.
Just got to dot the T's and cross the I's, and it'll be there waiting on him this summer. Any other recruits that you're like, this guy's probably going to be a day one guy? He gets on camp. He's just a dude. Mississippi State just hit a bomb to left field.
Let's go.
Also, can we talk about this? Is there anything more insulting than a home run landing in the opposing team's bullpen? Like that just to me is like,
yeah. It's like you just went like that to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very disrespectful, even though it's probably not meant to be disrespectful, but it is. It comes off that way.
I think it's like unintentionally disrespectful. It's like in San Francisco. If you get to hit your ball into the bay as the opposing team, it's like that. It's like, oh, that's your thing? It's my thing right now.
Right. Like how many of those San Francisco fans are in that bay just wanting to grab an opposing team's home run ball?
Right. Hey, how often – I know it's a Boston thing. I'm sure it's a thing at other parks. I think Chicago does it too. The ball getting thrown back for the opposing home run. That's just I love that. Because, everyone wants to catch a home run ball, but if it's not my team, F it. That thing's going back into the field.
Yeah, I've seen some people do it. I would never do that. If I'm catching a home run ball, I don't care who it's from.
Unless it's like a big moment. Like if I'm catching someone's, memorable home run, all right, I'll keep it. But if it's just like a random home run, I'm throwing that thing as far as I can.
Yeah, it probably also depends on where it's at in the game, and who hits it.
Yeah, like if
it's some pinch hitter that no one knows who it is, I wouldn't. Whatever. But if it's from like David Ortiz or Tatis or Machado or guys like that, even Clayton Kershaw can hit bombs. If I catch a Clayton Kershaw ball, I'm not dare throwing it back.
All right, so we know there's exceptions, but the rule is you toss that son of a bitch back.
Well, the goal is like you got to hit the run. You got to hit the run around the bases too.
Yeah, I think the one that happened, like the most recent one that like really got shown. I mean, it's been a couple years ago, like 3 years ago. The one in Boston where the dude caught it over the green monster and got it back to second base.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Because there's probably not a lot of fans who can throw it to second base from that one.
I mean, you're not stepping into the throw. That's a good throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some elevation that helps you out there. But
yeah, he was definitely helped out from the green monster.
Yeah, but still a good throw. I love watching Mississippi State beat the shit out of Vanderbilt, though. This is fun.
It's great.
It's a lot of fun. Sorry, recruits, though. Anybody coming in, you're like, that dude's a dude.
The pitcher for Beach, I can't remember his name.
That would be.
You have it pulled up? I don't have it pulled up.
Wait. Maybe I don't have it. It's either Drew Beam or
no, Drew Beam's on campus.
James McCracken?
No. Up further. Are you on Perfect Game?
Oh, I see it now. Chase Burns, probably.
Chase Burns, yes.
Apparently, I don't know where Beach is at, which is fine. But
I think it's in Hendersonville, isn't it?
Gallatin, apparently.
Oh.
Well, the other options were Murfreesboro, and I was like, that's not right either. But that's where those other two guys are from.
I think
all pitchers. So you threw me off.
I need to know. We're big geography guys. I want to know where Gallatin is because I'm pretty sure Beach is in Hendersonville. Because I'm pretty sure that's where Jalen Hurd's from.
It is in Hendersonville.
How close is Gallatin from?
Dude, why are you? I mean, I'll pull it up. Why are you asking me? Like, you don't have to make me.
I just want to know, dude.
But like, you're publicly making me look stupid right now.
No. I mean, that's what Perfect Game said. So it's got to be true.
I mean, but you can be from Gallatin and go to Beach, right? Surely. I guess you're asking how close it is. Can you be? Is the question.
Yeah, that's.
Give me a moment. Computer's being slow. We'll make it there eventually. I mean, I know it's like I know all those.
But yeah, I think Chase Burns is a first round talent. I think he pitched a couple perfect games this season. So yeah, it's unfortunate. And I actually talked to Ross Kivett about him, and like I tweeted about him throwing, I think, a perfect game or a no hitter, and he was like, "Yeah, we want this kid to suck."
That's awesome.
I mean, obviously, you don't want him to suck when he gets on campus, but you want him to suck so he makes it to campus and not go to the MLB. That's his point. Don't get it twisted.
They just hit another freaking bomb.
Is Rocker still pitching?
No, I don't know who they brought in. That
They
Slim
pitched
Mississippi
that
State
17-year-old yesterday, and he got freaking rocked.
Yeah, was it 12-3 was the final?
He gave up some hits, but he walked a lot of people, too. That's why he had to come out of the game so quickly.
So Gallatin is close to Hendersonville. So
okay.
It's just a little northeast.
I know they're both middle.
So they're both Sumner County, I believe. I believe Beach is Sumner County. I know Gallatin is.
Okay. But yeah.
I'll lose Landon. I know my internet. Oh, are you there? You just ripping your headphones out for us? Landon's just abusing his headphones. I don't have it yet. I'll keep chatting it up. Gotcha. Plug back in. Oh. Dylan, you're muted. I'm sorry. We're back. Everybody back? We good?
I'm here.
And it's Dylan. We got you?
Got me.
We're all here. There we go.
Yeah. I was just going to say Ryan Spikes out of Georgia. What's the same high school Cody Brown is from?
Okay.
Parkview. Yeah. I don't think he has a TikTok, but I've seen some of his videos just pop up just on the main feed before. Dude hits some absolute bombs. He's not a big guy. I think he's like 5'9", 190, maybe something like that. But I know a lot of his high school home runs and just on the travel circuit have a lot of views on TikTok because he also pimps them a little bit too. So.
Is he a guy that steps foot on campus though?
Yeah, so him and Christian Moore have done a really good job at the MLB Combine. So that's to be determined. Yeah, you want them to suck.
Yeah, right. Nice knowing you guys. It's been fun. Hey, good for them. Go get paid though. Like I said, there's some big money left for some of those guys out there.
Right, it's cool. Like I don't hate Mookie Betts as much because he signed with Tennessee. So
I do hate that every time he's at a Tennessee game, he's been on TV more than the game's been on. That's been annoying.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. it's like we're at a basketball game. This has nothing to do with him at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'll listen to Mookie Betts. He's entertaining, but not during a basketball game, which kind of goes into, I don't know, the terrible product, which has nothing to do with the NCAA. But this game was, I mean, I just can't believe. I'm glad Mississippi State's winning it, but the whole COVID thing, and then they come out and the ump is just making it about him immediately. Just strike zone was abysmal. The pitch count thing was stupid. He was getting on the batters for stepping, out of the batter, away from the batter's box. Like it was like, I'm like, we're watching the College World Series. Calm down. This isn't a weekday game that we're trying to get over with so we can get to Cracker Barrel before it closes.
Yeah, let's chill out a little bit. But yeah, Cruz Newman and Drew Beam are two big-time recruits that Tennessee already has on campus. So, I'm sure other people are on campus, but those are the ones I've seen on social media. So,
gotcha. Sweet. Anything else about the baseball roster?
That's all I got.
I know we'll be talking about it more throughout the season. If you guys have questions about it, drop it in there. We'll talk baseball year round. Don't worry. All right. Vescovi
had a really good game the other night against Turkey. I think they lost that game, but he had 9 points, 4 rebounds, 0 turnovers, and 24 minutes of action.
The turnover thing I'm liking. I hope that carries over to the Tennessee basketball season.
Yeah.
Which I'm interested to see where he fits into this roster.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I think he's a 2-guard that's built like a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
So, it'll be interesting to see him kind of paired up with Kenny Chandler. I think having a guy that can get to the rim as easy as Chandler can really helps him out.
No, I definitely think it benefits him. I am curious to see. I thought he'd be really good in a catch-and-shoot role. Not that he was bad. Not as great as I thought he would. Didn't thrive quite like I thought he would. But, maybe this year, maybe it happens for him. Like you said, Kennedy's a little bit more aggressive than the other two guys.
Can open up the floor a little bit because I think he plays well in space.
Yeah.
But I think when he's not as athletic as some of those guys, so when he gets a bigger defender on him, he kind of is taken out of the game a little bit.
Right. ESPN might have just jinxed Mississippi State. Instead, it went from Mississippi State has never won a team sport national championship to now Mississippi State seeking its first national championship.
There you go. Yeah, good.
That's going to cost them. Vanderbilt's about to have a 10-run inning here in a second.
That'd be terrible. I would hate that.
I'd hate it for everyone involved. This inning is not over yet. No, I don't think it's close to over. But we'll see. They did bring in Vanderbilt did bring in another pitcher. So they saw enough of the last guy who they brought in this time.
Also saw where Tennessee running back commitment Dylan Sampson runs a 4.3240.
Jeez.
That's pretty fast.
I mean, is that who timed that? I'm not bashing him. I want to make sure we've got accurate stuff here. Is that hand timed? What are we talking?
It's a I don't know who timed it. It was just a sports reporter was talking to him. Yeah.
I trust him. Good. Sounds good to me.
He is a track guy, so
it's enough for me.
I mean, I don't know if it's a 4.3, but I mean 4.4 is fast.
Yeah, you're flying.
He's also got a 4.4 GPA, so he's actually.
Oh wow, he's faster than his
GPA.
Yeah. If yeah, that's pretty nuts. If you're accidentally timing someone at a 4.3, they're probably still pretty freaking quick.
Right.
Like if anyone's like, oh, that was a 4.3, Caleb, might have been a 4.5, 4.6. That's fucking fine with me.
Yeah.
We'll call
less
it a 4.6.
is more.
Yeah, we'll call it a 4.6. Get out of here. Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
That's all I got.
That's it. All right. What's trending? I've got a few. First one. This one's I thought kicking and screaming might come up. Soccer. It's back. And it might be coming home. Sorry, football might be coming home. England rolling. Did you think I meant pick England when I said that the other day?
No.
Okay, cool. I was like,
I picked England just because everybody was picking, and the boost was the odds were in like you had better odds to pick England, but all the money was going to Germany just based off the thing. And if I learned anything recently, it's to do whatever, like the opposite of what everybody else was doing. So that's what I did.
There you go. I was like, I wasn't picking England. Now I told you I wouldn't pick Germany either, so I'll take a little bit of credit. But yeah, so
and Gump was one in England, so that's kind of what made me do it too.
But I said soccer's back because Landon even tweeted about it. Tweeted about the Euro. Landon's tweeting soccer. It's back.
Damn, sky's falling.
So yeah, soccer's back, and a lot of people tweeting about it in the middle of the day. Love to see it.
Yeah, it is something cool to just put on the TV. Like, you don't have to like be super tuned in all the time, but it is nice to just put some sporting event on your TV that's not, pool or something. What is it? The
darts
World Series of Poker.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to watch that. And
that's the thing too. You can't ever watch like Mexican announcers, but for this method that I'm giving. But yeah, turn on soccer, lay down. Nice soccer naps and golf naps are the best naps of all time. But you just listen for when the announcers start getting excited, and that's when you flash to the TV and you catch the goals. Or near goals.
And dude, the celebrations were electric.
Oh,
like the fans go, like I was seeing people just getting thrown like rows and stuff. It was nuts.
If you want to see beers fly, watch a game in Europe. Beers are going everywhere. It's awesome.
And everybody's hugging everybody. Like COVID never happened. Like it was nuts.
I want to do like that's the thing. I can't go in the summer because they don't unless you go to like a Euro like tournament like that, which would be amazing. But I want to go to like Europe or England specifically to just go to different venues and attend like because it like that's not like that's special to like international play, but that's just normal soccer games.
Dude, I love crazy drunk people that take their shirts off. Like I think that is hilarious.
Especially
and
the
that's
fat ones. The fat ones and women.
Soccer does. Yeah. That's all soccer was when England scored that second goal. Everybody had their shirt off.
Everyone in England's already drunk. I can't imagine what they were when they beat Germany.
Can you imagine how drunk they were after that? Because they were drunk and it's like what? I guess it's later over there, isn't it?
Yeah, they're 6 hours ahead, give or take.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it just seems wild because like it's like what 11 a.m. here and they're all hammered already.
That is their normal day. 11 a.m. they're hammered. So
right.
You don't have to give exception to that. I did see an interesting one. I think it was a Barstool account that tweeted this out and wanted to get your all's take. Which player, if you needed a 1 yard gain, 4th and 1, who you giving the rock to?
Does it have to be a current player?
I think this is just any player. And it doesn't have to be Tennessee. I'm just curious what y'all would say. I saw a good one that I agreed with 100%. So just curious what you all had.
Mike Allstott. Fullback love.
It's a good one.
That is a good one. Man.
I went Tom Brady. He has to have the highest 4th and 1 conversion rate of all time, right?
Probably.
He's more of a 4th and inches kind of guy.
4th and 1, 4th and inches. It's the same thing.
Oh, man.
Well, the man gets 3 yards a carry.
I mean, Derrick Henry has to be up there, right?
I would think Derrick Henry would be a good person to give the ball to on 4th and 1. If we're going current, I would probably say he's number 1, right?
Yeah, he's got to be up there.
If you're going current.
Also think like you could also go with like Alvin Kamara current. And not just like he's not a bruiser, but like he's going to get you a yard.
Yeah, I mean that's a guy that's definitely
he can make somebody miss in the hole.
Yeah, which is pretty freaking unique, by the way.
Right.
That's okay. So Alvin Kamara, is that your final answer? Or are you going Derrick Henry?
I think Bo Jackson is somebody that you probably got to give the ball to too.
I give Bo Jackson the ball in any down, any distance, any time.
Just go.
Bo knows best.
Is this real life or Techno Bowl? Because then Bo Jackson, that's number 1.
Tecmo Bowl, there's no doubt he's doing this. So apparently Mississippi State's throwing a no-hitter right now. I didn't realize that. I did not realize that.
That's hilarious.
That's nuts. Suck it, Vanderbilt.
Whistle on that.
Yeah, that's why he's been shut up all game. My last one.
Do you think Vanderbilt fans like find it annoying too?
I think anybody with ears has to. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, like I find really, really annoying Tennessee fans, like the ones that are like yelling. I mean, nonsense at games, whether it be putting another quarterback in or throw the ball. The thing I find most annoying is as soon like the quarterback steps back in the pocket, like he could be going through a play fake and someone's open for a second, and probably like where the route's not even completed, and they're like, throw it to him. I'm like, guys, he physically can't. Like that's not possible right now. Like those kind of people, yeah, I would murder them.
I love the people that are running backwards. Like as soon as the ball snap, like somebody's in the backfield, and they're like they're running around like 20 yards in the backfield, and then somebody yells, "Block for him!" I'm like, "Are you serious? How? How are you supposed to block for somebody like that? They run around for 25 seconds. They literally have a delay of game penalty because they're running backwards so long."
Yeah, they're. I mean, like they have to find them annoying. There's no other solution. Like they have to
block. That's my favorite thing. Like when you go to like a Pee Wee game, everybody, yeah, everybody is, yeah.
Good eye.
Yeah. It was in the dirt, but yeah, good eye.
Did he swing?
Yeah. I mean,
good eye.
He's not wrong.
I just remember the Georgia. I think it was the Georgia game when Garantano opened up the first drive with a out route to the sideline, and it was an interception. Everybody in the section I was sitting in saw him eyeing it down, and everybody just let out a collective like a sigh at one time, and then we just all saw him throw it. So that it was pretty predictable with him.
I feel like I feel like that's happened more than just once, where everybody in a section is like, God, why'd you do that?
Anytime we ran a deep out, I was very sad.
As it was happening, yeah.
I was like,
see it unfold.
You see the receiver start hitting the brakes at that 10-yard spot, and you're like, please don't turn out towards the sideline. Sure enough. Sure enough. Last one. This one's kind of from last week, so sorry for the late one. Buc-ee's, I guess how you say it. It's a convenience store, gas station. I don't know if y'all are familiar with it. Are you? What is the hype? It's coming to Sevier County. Tell me about it. It's
just like a big store. Like it's like in Texas and Arkansas and places like that. It's like a man, I'm trying to think.
And I mean, are the photos I've seen it?
Like correct? Those big, like nice gas stations.
It looks like a big gas station.
Like a Wawa. Yeah.
I've never been to Wawa.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like
big
a Piggly Wiggly
now, though.
It's kind of like a Piggly Wiggly kind of thing.
I don't get the hype with Piggly Wiggly, but I believe you.
Like, I mean, I don't think there's anything great about it. I think it's just big and convenient.
Okay. I mean, a lot of people are tweeting about it, so I was like, I'll find out what the hype's about.
Yeah, people love big and people love convenient, and that's
it looked like
all Buc-ee's is.
It looked like Buc-ee's has at minimum 100 gas pumps. Is that real?
The one I stopped at had, I don't know if it was 100, but it was.
I didn't count.
They had quite a bit.
So like more than a normal gas station.
Yeah.
More than a normal like truck stop, like an interstate gas station, or would you say equivalent?
It's kind of like a neighborhood Walmart.
Do they have more gas pumps than normal?
No, but like I'm saying, like it's
same
like
style.
that
Okay.
in size, but yeah, with probably more gas pumps.
Gotcha. Credence just said Buc-ee's is amazing. All caps. So I'll believe you. Hey, when they're open in Sevier County, I'll go.
Yeah, I mean it's like the Wawa in Florida. Like it's like, oh, that's a nice gas station.
There's a Wawa. Wawa, is that a Canadian? It sounds like a Canadian thing. Is it?
They're everywhere.
Are they? Okay. There's some
the big ones that have like showers in them for like truck stops, everything.
Yeah.
There is, I don't remember the name of it. I don't think it was Wawa. There is like same thing similar to what you're describing Buc-ee's and what I gather Buc-ee's is in Ohio that had liquor in the store. I think I got a bottle of, it's probably not even fair to call it tequila for like $2. Do you remember that one when I brought that home? It was nasty.
It was nasty.
Oh, it was. I think it froze in the freezer.
I feel like this Buc-ee's had a restaurant type in it too, kind of like a Sheetz. You ever been to a Sheetz?
Yeah,
That's just a gas station, right?
Yeah, but it's like a nice one. They have like a
big, yeah. They normally have like 2 or 3
deli
restaurants in it, or 2 or 3 like fast food joints.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like a truck stop. That Sheetz are more like truck stops.
Well, Sheetz
travel stations.
It's his own. Like it doesn't have like a Subway. It's like its own restaurant.
Oh, then I'm not familiar with what you're talking about. But it's a travel station. I got you.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Okay. My very last one. We don't have to talk about this long because I don't want to. But I didn't even know Bill Cosby was alive. That he's got out of prison today. So,
I heard about this too. I don't know anything about it.
Come up to me today and been like, "Is Bill Cosby alive?" I would have lost that bet. So, in the news, thought I'd mention it.
Zombie.
He doesn't look bad for a guy who's been in prison. I mean, he's got to be like 75, 80 years old, right?
Yeah.
Been in prison for a couple years. He doesn't look. Holy crap! That's the worst error I've ever seen. How
was
did that?
Was about Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
Vanderbilt set a record for errors in a College World Series.
They have 13 now, I think. 13 or 14 now. Guess how many Mississippi State has in the entire College World Series?
How many?
0.
Damn.
That's winning base. That's a winning way.
That is.
What was he doing?
That is the way.
That was ridiculously bad. I don't know what the right fielder was doing.
Dude, I'm so glad this happened because Vanderbilt has been that third game in every series has just been kind of horrible for them. But dude, besides Rock, if they didn't have Rocker and Leiter, they would be in like an average ass SEC team.
Yeah. It's almost better that they're losing this way because almost 2 million people are probably watching tonight. 2 million people wouldn't watch them lose to NC State. So it's almost better.
Right. And like somebody tweeted about the attendance or the viewership.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these two teams have no fan base. That's why.
No, but that viewership is incredible. Especially on a night where you had the NBA finals. What else is on?
There was soccer.
Was someone, well, that was during the day. Was someone bashing it when they tweeted that?
I don't know if they were I don't know if they were bashing it, but it was far less than the first game of the Arkansas-Oregon State World Series in 2019.
Gotcha.
By a lot.
Oh, really? That's kind of surprising because it was like 1.3 million, I think. Pretty much being played at the same time as the Bucks game.
Everything they tweet out about attendance, I just see get ratioed by NC State fans that still aren't happy, which I'm right there with them.
Oh, the attendance thing is nuts. I'm like, how you can't have some kind of self-awareness. You can't tweet that.
It was like hours after, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
that same day they're bragging about the attendance when they just sent somebody home for COVID.
They can't after they sent them home that Saturday. Is that when Mississippi State played?
Yeah.
So that Saturday, they tweeted Mississippi State, the attendance is like 21,000. And they tweeted it out like to be proud of it. I'm like, come on, guys. Self-awareness, please.
It takes self-awareness.
Right. I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. Do you have anybody, what's trending? Anything?
They found the lady that caused the massive crash at the Tour de France.
Oh, they did find her.
And she's arrested now, which that's the only time I even remember that cycling is a sport. So it's kind of like NASCAR for some people. I just live to see crashes and stuff like that. So the fact that there was a manhunt was just hilarious to me. But apparently they found and arrested her.
Yeah, didn't she leave? Didn't she get out of France?
Yeah,
wasn't she able to escape the country?
What are her charges? That's what I'm wondering. Like, what do you charge her with?
That I don't know. That was my stupidity though. That lady hanging over. But that's the thing. Like, was there even a railing? Like, it's a railing, but it's like
no. They just get on the side of the street there. Apparently.
Oh, is it okay? So there's not even like a gate.
I mean, maybe like right at the entrance, the finish line, but not where it happened. No, her foot was on the pavement, I think.
So that's kind of stupidity, not just on her, but like on the Tour de France too. Like a little awareness, guys. Did you see the video, Landon?
It was awesome.
Yeah, I love. That's what I'm saying. I loved it.
Didn't it just say like "Hi, Mom" or something like that? The poster.
I don't know, it looks like she was posing for a picture, and that dude just like.
Yeah, no, she was definitely like for the camera. Like she was like, "I'm on TV."
Dude,
I think it just said like "Hi, Mom."
I think I'm all about the conspiracy theory on this one. Like she was trying to ruin it. She had some money on it or something. I don't know.
Says she's accused of involuntarily causing injury and faces a fine of 1,500 euros, which I don't know what that is in dollars, but
I think euros is like $1.50, maybe.
Damn,
a little over $1.50. No, that's a pound. I don't know what euros are at.
I don't understand. She's accused of. I mean, I know it's the legal system, like how it has to go through its process, but says she's accused of involuntarily causing injury when there's like that was the biggest news story of several days there. Like I'd say your accusation's pretty strong there.
That's like the whole situation's hilarious. Like
yeah, you got to go. If there was some angry tweets about the Tour de France, you got to go. See if there's some intent. You got to do some digging.
Didn't she knock over like the leader, like the former winner and leader? Like
just
that was
like half the pack. Yeah, it was
wasn't that like the
reaction? Wasn't
the dude in front? Like he wearing the yellow jacket?
There was like 4 people or like 6. There was like a group of 6 like in front, and she took the one that was far right just out, and he took the rest of everybody else.
Is that the worst? Is that the most embarrassing thing to cause that? You're watching this unfold in front of you. You know cameras are on you, and you apparently her first reaction is just, I have to leave the country.
That's genius.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I would have just cried probably. I would have been very embarrassed. I hope it was like her favorite cyclist. Do people have favorite cyclists? I don't know.
God, I hope not. What a fandom that is.
But wouldn't like it'd be like
I feel like everybody's favorite is just the one person that everybody knows, like Lance Armstrong.
Big steroid guy. He's my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I was a Lance Armstrong fan for a while. I wore the bracelet and everything.
It was like Tiger Woods because that was like, except for like avid golf fans, that was the only golfer anybody really knew.
He was the sport.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I just like I really hope it was like her favorite cyclist. So like maybe she gets like the Steve Bartman curse, like that kind of thing. That's kind of what I hope. I don't hope that on anybody, but like that would be funny. Like I hope she goes home and she's like, he could have won the Tour de France, but I didn't allow him to.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture now. Her foot is on the pavement, like she's on the road.
She's involved.
Oh yeah,
I love that. I'm trying to find the ratings. I did see a tweet though while I was looking for this. So the game 3 you were talking about, Landon, the Michigan Vanderbilt in 19. Is that the one you're talking about? Game 3 of the College World Series in 19?
Or 18, sorry, was
okay.
Arkansas and Oregon State.
Game 3 in 19 was the most watched baseball game on ESPN so far that year.
Oh wow.
So that was in 19. The one Vanderbilt won. But yeah, I'm looking for this year's, but I can't find it right now. So I did see the tweet.
Stupidity.
Mom was the Tour de France girl.
Okay.
Like, what are you thinking? But also, I didn't know the Tour de France was that poor on security. So what are they thinking also?
Mine is Pro Football Focus. They just love being on here. They said, is Alabama on upset watch in week 1?
Yes.
And they have a quote from Anthony Tresh on Miami. He says, if De'Aaron King is fully healthy week 1, this team could legitimately put Bama on upset watch and make the ACC interesting. If you beat Alabama, you should be the best team in the ACC.
You should. Yeah.
And also, no.
So you're saying it shouldn't be interesting then?
I'm saying that, no, they're not on upset watch. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Miami is terrible.
But kind of to counter that, if you're always the number 1 team, aren't you always on upset watch?
That's a good point.
That's a good point. Just run in circles here. That is a good point. I'm gonna find this freaking ratings. I'm sorry, guys. I'm on a mission now.
Stupidity. It's myself from last week. I told you guys Tommy Fleetwood to finish top 20 was free money. What they had that Tommy Fleetwood finished tied for 50th, so that's on me.
Oh, he made the cut.
Yeah, I hope nobody bet it, but it just seemed like the time of year that Tommy Fleetwood was going to have one of his runs through a tournament, but he did not. So
that's all I got for stupidity.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. I do want to keep calling the NCAA stupid too, though. So they're just dumb. Pick a reason. I don't know. I don't care.
Also, Vols Picks says after his junior year, Greg Emerson was a 5-star and top 10 player in the nation. No, he was not.
I like the delivery of that. I really do. I love that. I don't have anything else. Guys, appreciate y'all listening. I need to talk it over with Landon, but it is a holiday weekend, so we may not be back for another week. He ignored my text.
I forgot about that. Oh, I didn't text you back.
Wow, you forgot America's birthday? Well, we were talking about tonight's show when I asked you.
I forgot that it's actually Sunday.
But yeah, you forgot about America's birthday. So that's cool. You don't love America. But so we may not be back until next Wednesday, but we will be back next week. Time and date TBD, but probably just Wednesday at 8. I'll tell you that.
There you go. Yeah, let's run it.
Appreciate y'all listening. It's been fun.
We're bringing the boat.